So for McCarthy, it may all come down to tonight, which is incredibly fitting, because tonight is also the 2-year anniversary of the January 6th attack on our Capitol by a right-wing mob incited by former President Trump. And in a fairly significant way, tonight's vote on Kevin McCarthy is directly tied to how he responded to that attack. In fact, you can't really understand what is happening to McCarthy this January 6th without looking at what happened to him and what he did after the last January 6th in 2021. They're trying to effing kill me. That is what Kevin McCarthy reportedly shouted at former President Trump during a heated phone call during the attack on the Capitol on January 6th, begging the president to intervene. Days later, on a private conference call with Republican leaders, McCarthy let them know how he truly felt. This was McCarthy discussing the possibility of using either the 25th Amendment or impeachment to remove Trump from office for his role in January 6th.
Liz, you on the phone?
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks, Kevin. I guess there's a question. When we were talking about the 25th Amendment resolution, and you asked if what happens if it gets there after he's gone. Is there any chance? Are you hearing that he might resign? Is there any reason to think that might happen?
I've had some few discussions. My gut tells me no. I'm seriously thinking of having that conversation with him tonight. I haven't talked to him in a couple days. From what I know of him, I mean, you guys all know him too. Do you think he'd ever back away? But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to call him. This is what I think. No, it'll pass the House. I think there's a chance it'll pass the Senate even when he's gone. And I think there's a lot of different ramifications for that. Now, I haven't had a discussion with the Dems that if he did resign, would it not happen? Now, this is one personal fear I have. I do not want to get into any conversations about Pence party or anything like that. I mean, the only discussion I would have with him is that I think this will pass, and it would be my recommendation we should resign. I mean, that would be my take, but I don't think he would take it, but I don't know.
That was 4 days after January 6, 2021. Kevin McCarthy was privately admitting that he thought both the 25th Amendment and an impeachment resolution could pass, and that he was going to try to call President Trump to get him to resign. It was big. I mean, this was seismic stuff from one of the leaders of the Republican Party. 3 days later, McCarthy made at least part of his opinion public on the House floor.
The president bears responsibility for Wednesday's attack on Congress by mob rioters. He should have immediately denounced the mob when he saw what was unfolding. These facts require immediate action by President Trump.
That was Kevin McCarthy's position in the immediate aftermath of January 6th. They are trying to effing kill me. Trump should resign. He should accept responsibility. People took notice of that, especially people in the House Freedom Caucus. People like the 5 current conservative holdouts, the people who are now stonewalling Kevin McCarthy in his bid for the speakership, who were in the House Freedom Caucus that day. And all of them, they voted to overturn the 2020 Electoral College results on January 6th. They were probably not very happy with Kevin McCarthy and what he was saying. Maybe they voiced their displeasure. Maybe they didn't. But guess what? By the end of that month, January 2021, Kevin McCarthy had changed his tune. On January 28th, well before other members of Congress had returned to President Trump's side, Kevin McCarthy flew down to Florida to meet with the newly ex-president himself. But they didn't talk about January 6th. They didn't discuss Trump's role and responsibility in that attack. In a statement released by former President Trump's super PAC that day, they said the meeting was a very good and cordial one. They discussed many topics, number one of which was taking back the House in 2022. President Trump has agreed to work with Leader McCarthy on helping the Republican Party become the majority in the House. From that day on, the issue of the insurrection that McCarthy believed was trying to kill him and believed Trump should resign over, that issue didn't seem to bother Kevin McCarthy much anymore. His new focus was taking back the House and maybe becoming Speaker of it. In the months following the insurrection, McCarthy pulled all Republican support from the committee investigating January 6th, and he personally refused to comply with the committee's subpoenas and requests during its investigation. Now, we have no idea if there was an explicit deal here, or if McCarthy just decided that his political future seemed brighter with Trump and his supporters on his side. But McCarthy certainly appeared to bet his own political future on supporting Trump and the election-denying MAGA wing of the Republican Party after January 6th. Some part of that bet seems to have paid off. Tonight, NBC is reporting that Trump is getting involved and he is whipping votes for Kevin McCarthy. As for the House Freedom Caucus, whose support Kevin McCarthy so desperately needs to become Speaker, well, they watched him capitulate to one group of people intent on derailing democracy on January 6, 2021. And now, 2 years later, on January 6, 2023, they're seeing just how far they can push him as their own group derails democracy once again.